Yeah,
Sure, no problem. ThaBoxingvoice.com, live hit with Eddie Hearn. So
you're the
Eddie,
last
man,
one. You're the first one to ask for an interview, and you're the last man standing.
Gotta be, man. First one here, last one to go.
Good man. I respect that hustle.
Stop. I respect your hustle, man. I don't want to jump into the KSI, but I do, like I told Frank, I respect that you guys are doing that. I'm with anything that's gonna add new eyeballs. The naysayers, they make no sense.
It wasn't easy because they asked me to be involved in the first fight, right? And I was like, no way. I didn't really know about them. I didn't really understand the whole YouTube growth. And then they sold out Manchester Arena, which is the biggest arena, indoor arena in the UK, in a day. They did 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. And you know what, the fight weren't that bad. But I spoke to them about the rematch and said, guys, if we're gonna do this, we got to show, if we've got a chance of bringing that new audience into boxing, at least let them still see real boxing. Turn pro, don't wear head guards, wear 10-ounce gloves. Someone will get knocked out this time. But on the undercard, show them great boxing, show them world championship boxing, show them Devin Haney, show them our young kids, you know? So like I said to you guys earlier, you know, when you're there fight week for that fight, and you're interviewing KSI and Logan Paul, and you're doing 20 times the numbers that you might do for another interview, how's that a bad thing, you know? So, but I do understand, you know, hardcore boxing fans turning their nose up at it, but we have to be brighter and bigger and have a bigger vision than just being a narrow-minded hardcore boxing fan of, by the way, who we respect because we are one. So it wasn't an easy decision, but I'm comfortable with the one we made.
Now, do you foresee it bringing in the same amount of subscribers as it did pay-per-views, even though it's a $20 increase? Well, $10.
No, $10, yeah. I mean, obviously last time you paid for a night, now you're paying for either a month or you're buying the annual pass. The difference is last time, I believe, of those 1.3 million pay-per-view buys, 400,000 of them were in the US. But it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, because it was a UK fight. So this time it's going to be prime time in the US on a Saturday night. So how many subscribers does it add to Dazn? 400, 500, 300, I mean somewhere around that. Still huge numbers of subscribers and different kind of subscribers. You know, if we stage a major boxing event on Dazn, say Canelo fights on Dazn and fights Kovalev, and it does 500,000 subscribers. These 400,000 subscribers or 500,000 subscribers that come with a KSI fight is a completely different audience. They are more likely to be the ones that churn, you know, the ones that dip in for a month and leave. But how good if we can show them over that month how great our sport is, and they can watch Canelo or they can watch Joshua Ruiz or Jacobs against Chavez, and we can get them to fall in love with the sport. Even if we get 5% of that audience, it's still great for the sport.
So Joshua Ruiz, Saudi Arabia. When Bob Arum took Manny Pacquiao, and this is my own selfish question.
Yeah.
Bob Arum took Manny Pacquiao to Macau. He prepared something for the media. You got some packages to get us over there?
Yeah, we can get over there. Of course, yeah. I mean, you know, they want, this is their chance to showcase. Of that fight in Thriller in Manila, that was in a time where there was a lot of criticism about the Philippine regime. Also in Zaire, for Rumble in the Jungle, there was a huge amount of criticism about President Mobutu, I believe was, you know, so, and there's also criticism about this event as well. It's the same kind of feel. Everyone's going to be watching. It's going to blow your mind, and I hope that, every journo can't make it, but I hope you come and experience it, because at the press conference yesterday, I was quite emotional, because I was looking at it thinking, like, this is a change in time for boxing, where the Middle East have attracted a super fight, right? And their strategy, having told me, is we now want to bid on every mega fight.
So is it a partnership with you now?
Yeah,
I mean, we're more in Saudi Arabia, or
for sure we're in. You know, we're in.
Just a one and done?
No, at the moment it's a one event, but we're in as their partners, right? So but since we did this, I mean, even before we did this, everyone's trying to land a fight out there. Floyd was out there trying to land a fight. Since this has been announced, all the other promoters have been on again to Saudi Arabia and say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. So it's not like, unfortunately for us, we were the first ones to land it, so we get the initial criticism. But everyone's trying to do it, everyone will do it, and our job is to provide the best opportunities for our fighters. So even if we have to take some stick in delivering for our guys, that's my job, to be put under a bus so that our fighters can make the most money in this prize fighting business.
Did the, I guess, time zone, different country, none of that came into play in making this fight for AJ? Is a fighter and he has to fight wherever the fight takes place?
Yeah, this venue, and one of the reasons we took it was because it's a neutral venue. Ruiz's team made it clear they didn't want to come to the UK. We could have enforced that, would have been messy because they didn't really want to do it. They chose Saudi over London when they were asked about it. Time zone's great for the UK. It's 9 PM fight time. It's 4 PM Eastern time here, not too bad. So it just kind of worked out. Obviously the money was fantastic, I can't lie to you. You know, we're not going to be going there for less money than we would be in the US, so everything just worked out.
Now, obviously you were on Sky Sports and you said Wilder comes out as a clout chaser. You know, whenever Anthony Joshua's doing something, Wilder wants to say something. Putting that to the side though, Andy or Joshua come out victorious in this fight, shouldn't we be pushing for undisputed because it's so difficult to have?
We should always push for undisputed. I don't know how easy or hard it's going to be because of the new mandatory situations. That's why I always stressed in our interviews, like the time is now. And my only frustration with the Wilder interview is, before the Ruiz fight, he says he wasn't bothered about Joshua, and now he's saying, no, I want to be undisputed, I want the winner of that fight. So I wish he would have said that before the Ruiz fight, and we would have had an undisputed champion either way. But forgetting that, the winner of this fight should fight the other champion. I
mean, it makes sense too, right? Some can say Wilder's seen the vulnerability and now wants a crack at Joshua.
Maybe. I think Wilder's always believed that he can win that fight. I think every fighter thinks they can win every fight. You know, there's something don't smell right about the Ortiz fight and about the Fury. Yeah, like don't forget. Again, we talk about clout chasing. Wilder announced the Ortiz fight on May the 28th. We're now on September the 4th, and we have no details of that fight. So
some are assuming that it's going to be announced on the Earl Spence Porter pay-per-view.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. I've heard that it's going to be November 23rd or something like that. You know, but even a Fury fight, like I don't know. You know,
why announce that Fury fight so soon? Even Fury though, right? He came out on ESPN.
But really, for you to box in early February, when you're boxing November 23, that fight's got to go real smooth. You know, like you can't be doing more than 4 rounds or getting hit in that fight or cutting that fight or bruising up your hands in that fight. So we can only deal with what we know is happening. And the only thing we know is happening right now is that Joshua's fighting Ruiz December 7th, Saudi Arabia.
What sort of contract you think Wilder and Fury have? Because we've seen Wilder come out and say on the 78 Sports interview that he wants Fury to step aside, but we've seen Bob come out today and said after Odom Wilder, Fury Wilder is happening. Being as though that it was a draw, so it wasn't a rematch. Yeah. Does he have to fight
Well,
Fury?
It's a new contract, isn't it? So, but it's very weird for Wilder to say that. It's another reason I couldn't really get my head round.
But he also said something interesting, right? He said, hopefully Fury can step aside. So that means it's up to Fury.
Yeah, then it sounds like they've signed a contract, in which case they won't step aside. But Tyson Fury is making great money to fight Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin. So maybe Tyson Fury is quite happy to have another one of those fights. The person that won't be willing to give him more of those fights is Bob Arum. Because Bob Arum and ESPN are losing so much money every time Tyson Fury fights.
They're going to bring that down. So. Yeah, I'm still going. So you were saying Tyson Fury?
Well, he's over the moon to be fighting those fights, you know?
But, all right, Joshua wins. You got the
go off this one.
You got the Saudi prince saying, look, we gave you 84 for this, we're giving you 160. Can you not pay step aside to Fury and the mandatories?
Maybe, but right now that's just dream stuff. You know, right now the only thing that's important is the Andy Ruiz fight and trying to win that fight.
All right, so switching to Philip Hardrovic, obviously when you signed him, you gave him a good fight, notable name, Greg Corbin.
Yeah.
Next fight was Heredia.
Yeah.
What's the thought process in building a heavyweight star? You figure he'll get more cachet off of Greg Corbin, a fighter that someone knows. Even a guy like Arthur Spielka, in my opinion, would have been better than Heredia. What was the thought process in giving him Heredia?
Just that he was in Mexico. So we wanted a Mexican heavyweight, which is quite rare outside of Andy Ruiz. But we need to step him up now. I feel like he's a very, very good heavyweight. but now he needs those tests. Interesting fight next week on the Devin Haney card will be Sergey Kuzmin against Michael Hunter. I think the winner of that fight would be a great fight for Filip Hrgović.
So what happens with Fury, right? Because we see Hrgović getting a different route, but then Fury went straight into the Lions then with Povetkin. And
Yeah,
I mean,
he just wanted that fight. You know, we spoke. Not many people want to fight Hrgović, to be honest with you. He's got a very good reputation. That fight came up to Hughie Fury. He accepted that fight. So did Povetkin. And you know, Povetkin won the fight.
So obviously you're a promoter. If AJ loses, this question is from Travis Pearson. If AJ loses again, does he retire?
I don't think so. No. I mean, he would have gone 24 fights. He would have been the unified world heavyweight champion. He would have lost to one man. Obviously, it would be a devastating loss to lose this fight, but I still believe he'd come back. But that's not the plan anyway. The plan is obviously all the eggs in one basket to win this fight.
Tracy says, is Tevin Farmer planning to move up now, or is his plan to still?
No, I think he wants to stay at 130. You know, he makes 130 okay. He should be trying to unify. I think we'll do Jojo Diaz in November, December. Be a great fight, and then you know look to try and unify the division.
And what happened with Mikey Garcia?
Still talking, spoke to him last night. He's got a couple of interesting offers. I'm not sure what we can do for him this side of the year, so maybe he takes one of those fights, and I think one day we'll work together.
So Christopher Riley wants to know your true opinion of Wilder, because you constantly say he doesn't sell tickets or that there's issues to negotiate with him, but you also say that he is the other piece of the puzzle.
Very good fighter.
Thank you.
I mean, technically not that great. Very dangerous, very entertaining. Great personality, great salesman. It just baffles me that he doesn't sell out arenas like he would do in the UK. But it's not really an accusation against Wilder. It's more of an accusation of US boxing. You know, a world heavyweight champion from the US who is as entertaining as Wilder in and outside of the ring should be selling out venues. So maybe it's not a Wilder problem, maybe it's a US boxing problem.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.